Hello viewers, all of you will agree the importance of taking up some environmental measures so that human beings continue to lead a happy and stress free and pollution free environment. Today even the survival of the human being is highly questionable, especially because of the rising levels of global temperatures and depletion of ozone layers. Already we are seeing so many untoward environmental happenings today. We are also seeing that the health of the human being is also slowly degrading. Although because of the help of science and technology, we are also trying to overcome some of these problems. So, in today's lesson, let us see what are the beneficial effects of science and technology, what is environmental wisdom, and what measures we can take in order to overcome some of the problems that we are facing with respect to the environment. And let us also see what you and me can also do in order to help the present scenario. To begin with, no doubt there is lot of improvements in our physical and health and psychological conditions because of improvements in science and technology. And there is rapid growth that we have seen in the last 2 centuries, especially in the last century, where so many advancements in the field of science and technology have taken place. As a result of all this, there is lot of pollution, that is the pollution levels are being alarmingly increased, and also because of this advancements in science and technology, we have also seen rapid population growth. Because earlier the nature by itself has this tendency of maintaining equilibrium, that is if a particular population size has increased, then there are certain natural mechanisms by which the environment tries to reduce the population size. Some of these can be by non-density related problems or non-density related aspects, and some of them are density related aspects. But both the non-density related aspects as well as the density related aspects like scarcity of food, water and other resources, because of the advancements of science and technology and medical improvements and innovations, humans have tried to overcome both the kind of environmental resistance. So, as a result, even though the environment has been trying to make its own attempt for stabilizing human population, because of these advancements, we have somehow tried to overcome them. So, today the life expectancy rate of the humans is much higher than in earlier periods, and the infant mortality rate is also getting lesser and lesser. Not only that, the other communicable diseases, especially infectious diseases, many of them which have posed a major threat in the earlier generations are today successfully overcome, like for example smallpox or other such kind of infections are more or less completely eradicated. Of course, there are certain other new problems that are coming up, but again science is trying to find some way of overcoming that also. The advantages that we are enjoying because of scientific and technological developments are certainly having better quality of life, especially with health related terms. Majority of the population, especially at least those who can afford them, are enjoying better health today. And we are also have developed so many gadgets for us for easy preparation of things for us, and also for doing our work at a much quicker pace with lesser strain and struggle from our side. So, there are many of these technological innovations are helping us to keep in touch with all our family members and friends, and as a result is certainly enriching our social lives. But on the other hand, these very technological developments are making us over dependent on them, and slowly and gradually our own mental faculties and our own physical capacities and capabilities are slowly getting lowered, because earlier what men can do or what humans can do physically, today many of them are not able to do it. So, it means that because of these technological and scientific advancements, are humans getting strengthened or are they getting weakened? So, the technological innovations by themselves are probably, although they are speeding up things for us, but whatever might be the effects, still there are many other harmful effects, because today what we call as stress is present in all age groups and in all sections of the society. Earlier stress was only present, say, for an adult. Until they have reached adulthood, there is not much of a stress that people used to face. But today we see stress is present all over, because working on these gadgets involves a lot of capabilities, especially mental faculties. So, these working on these gadgets for a long period of time strains the individual's visual system, strains the auditory system, strains the other sensory systems, and as a result the person feels lot of fatigue and strain. And also there is lot of stress that is increased because of various reasons. Apart from this, the problem of obsolescence is also there, because technology is being upgraded at a very high rate, the speed at which technology is developing today is so great that today if we go and buy some gadget from the stores, by the time we reach home it is also already becoming obsolete. So, the satisfaction that earlier people used to have, the joy that they used to get when they go out and purchase something, is not there today, because that joy, even if it is there, is short lived. For example, you went and purchased one 3G mobile phone, which is supposed to be the latest. So, very soon 4G might come, and so that is going to, your happiness is short lived in that sense, although you have to spend lot of money for that procuring the latest. So, many other factors are also having an impact both on the psychological and physical health. Coming to environmental aspects, because of this obsolescence and because of many other factors, producing these gadgets and other industrial products is resulting in lot of pollution in the environment, and because of the pollution there are many side effects that we are observing today, to such an extent that even the very protective layer that nature has arranged for us, the ozone layer, is also getting depleted. To understand how the scientific and technological advancements and our present day lifestyle is having an impact on the environment, let us have a look at slide. In this slide, you can see the inputs that are taken from the environment and also the outputs that we are giving into the environment. Here you can see there are two inputs especially that we are taking from the environment. One is high quality energy and also high quality matter. So, both these we are taking from the environment and we are subjecting it to system throughputs and various technological, scientific and other changes that we are doing today. And finally, let us see the outputs that we are giving into the environment. By taking high quality energy, the output that we are giving is low quality energy, that is heat is being produced. And by taking high quality matter, we are leaving into the environment waste and pollution. So, you can see that every day we are taking all good from the environment, and because of our present day lifestyle and because of the industries and because of the way in which we are manufacturing our things today, because of all that we are continuously leaving into the environment all hazardous waste. So, you can imagine the extent of exploitation that humans are doing regarding environment. And let us have another slide which shows the extent to which we are technologically bombarded. In this diagram, you can see a house. And in this house, you see that everything is technologically monitored. For example, the kind of lighting systems that is present in the house, the kind of telephone systems or heating systems that are present. Then apart from that, you can also see that in the house there is internet, then there is cooking systems and also AC systems. So, everything is technologically based, and each and every of that technological gadget is releasing low quality energy into the environment that is producing heat and also is leading into increasing levels of pollution. In this module, let us see what environmental psychologists are doing from their side in order to counter this kind of pollution and other adverse effects of present day developments in science and technology. So, they have tried to raise awareness levels in individuals, and they started working on what we call as environmental ethics. So, in this environmental ethics, they try to apply the ethical standards to relationships between human and non-human entities. And they, of course, it is a very challenging task for them to educate people and also to bring about global changes in lifestyles. But however, the environmental psychologists, by creating awareness in environmental ethics, are trying their level best to do some kind of help in order to overcome these drastic effects. So, they are considering such factors, and they conduct several debates like is it helpful or is it economical or beneficial to, for example, deforest in order to get jobs. So, there will be some people who say that if that particular forest is cut down, there will be lot of jobs to many people, and they can build some industries in that particular area, which is even going to give more jobs to the unemployed. So, but there will be some others who debate that maintaining forest land is in fact more helpful. So, these environmental psychologists, when they try to bring out environmental ethics, they are really working on several sensitive areas. For example, debates like can some communities be overexposed to industrial waste. So, you can see that in every town or city that all the industrial waste they go into the slums. They do not run into expensive or very good neighborhoods, but you see that many of the industries they let their waste into low socioeconomic status localities. So, the debate there goes whether how ethical it is for us to make them exposed to those hazardous wastes. In their attempts to spread awareness about environmental ethics, psychologists have come to understand that different people react differently to their information. So, what factors contribute to this is what they have researched upon, and they found out that certain people coming from certain cultural backgrounds, they are more conducive to this kind of thinking rather than people who come from different cultural backgrounds. They have also found that religion also has a sort of influence that decides whether a person will adopt these environmental conducive measures or not. So, spirituality has an influence regarding adoption of environmental ethics to some extent, researchers have found. Apart from that, the interests of the individuals also has an impact. For example, if it is a debate regarding letting some industrial wastes into a particular slum area, because there is no other option for the industry that is nearby, or because after the establishment of the industry, these slum dwellers have come and pitched their tents nearby. So, in whatever the case might be, the interest of people who say talk further or support the industrials is certainly different from the interest of people who talk on the side of the slum dwellers. So, certainly the interest or vested interest is a major contributing or affecting factor regarding those people will follow or adapt these environmental friendly measures or not. Another important thing is the kind of political ideology that they have, and this is especially true regarding the kind of government policies that they take. Today we see that different countries adopt different kind of political ideologies when it comes to response to environmental pollution. There are some countries which have adopted safer measures, but some countries did not adopt measures because of various reasons. So, the political ideologies also have an impact. Now, let us see what are the ways in which this environmental wisdom has started to grow. Please have a look at figure which is given on slide, where you can see that slowly over the years there is what they call as ethical expansion. Initially people were only considered about themselves, which is called anthropocentrism. And then slowly they started understanding that they have to take care about the animals and birds and other plants around them. So, today we have what we call as the development of such organizations of like a Blue Cross, who work towards the development or the protection of animals. So, this is what they call as biocentrism. So, which believes that certain living organisms also have value. Well, anthropocentrism is human beings only have some value. So, their rights only need to be respected. But going to biocentrism, it says that some of the living organisms around us also have some value, so we need to protect them. So, the ethical standards from centering on the human beings have advanced to thinking about others living creatures to around us. Even more later development is ecocentrism, where there are some people who have a global picture and where ethically one is considered about the whole ecological system. So, to say the whole earth is covered here, where aspects that are going to affect any particular thing in the environment is considered as something that needs attention and support from the human world. So, expanding ethical concerns has been increasing in the present day context, either because of a response to certain happenings that we can't overlook, like global warming, which is sending so many danger signals to us, because if you don't do something, the very survival of the human species is at stake. Whatever might be the reason, today there are many debates and discussions in a worldwide manner, worldwide nature, which are focusing on trying to think ethically from an ecocentric perspective. So, today environmental psychologists are speaking about what we call as environmental wisdom. So, according to this, they say that all forms of nature, or all nature in fact exists for all species. It is not that nature is only existing for the human world. So, firstly they recognize that nature is for all, and secondly they believe that the resources available in this nature or on earth are limited. So, that is why they have to be judiciously used. So, any kind of misuse has to be minimized and beneficial uses have to be adopted. Apart from that, environmental wisdom also postulates that we should encourage such scientific and technological developments that are going to sustain life on earth rather than resulting in harmful effects on life on earth. And the environmental wisdom also clearly states that our success on earth depends on understanding how the earth sustains itself and making all attempts to help in the process. So, understanding how there is growth in the environment, how the pollution is going to adversely affect on the environment, and studying all these factors in depth will help us to understand how we are trying to degrade the environment and allow us to learn proper methods by which we can help us to teach how not to degrade the environment, but help us to find ways in which our activities here on earth will in fact help in its sustenance and not result in its destruction. In the last module, let us see what we can do in order to encourage environmental wisdom and in order to reduce pollution levels and in order to increase sustainable development. So, firstly we can try to get informed on the issues. So, having knowledge on what is going on in this world, how our effects and activities are influencing negatively and what activities are influencing positively on the environment, and the mechanisms that are involved, the scientific and technological impact that is going on the environment. If we get to know all the details and also get an idea about the prevalence rates of pollution levels, that is also going to help us in order to educate others as well as to raise our voice when it is required. Apart from that, we can also voice out our views, because we have now acquired all necessary knowledge and we have all the facts with us, we can use all opportunities to share it with others. So, during public meetings or whenever we meet in social groups, we have to take all measures to share this very useful information, very important information with as many people as possible. Apart from that, we can also sort of make our views known to the elected representatives. We can draft some notes and develop some posters so that we can represent it to the politicians and give them the knowledge so that it will help them to frame the right policies. Apart from that, we can make all measures, say write several blogs on the internet or try to write some short summary notes, especially for children in terms that they can understand, or we can do some social surveys by campaigning, visiting all schools or visiting our neighborhoods, especially educating the slum dwellers so that they will raise their voices when it is required, and they will also do their best to minimize the kind of pollution that they are doing. Apart from that, we can join some non-governmental organizations that are fighting for this cause, and because the more voices, the better they will be heard. So, from our side, we can do a variety of things to put forth the environmental wisdom and to see that the environment is protected. So, there are many issues that one need to concentrate on when it comes to environmental safeguard. But there are some very important components that need immediate and urgent attention, like sustainable forestry, the need for social conservation, and also sustainable water use, non-renewable mineral resources, and also highlight climate change and ozone depletion. Apart from that, trying to prevent pollutions and waste reduction, and also environmentally sustainable economic and political systems, and also to create environmental worldviews and ethics to make sure that this environmental wisdom is being carried forward in the right spirit and in the right direction.